What's going on, guys? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be addressing whether or not the Deeper Connect Mini and Helium Miner are worth it as another source of passive income. Also, guys, I did manage to pick up the Deeper Connect Pico, but I will be saving that for another video. So guys, we'll be going over the importance of the Deeper device, how to earn and even stake their native token called DPR, as well as unboxing the devices and whether or not it's worth buying in the hopes to make passive income. So guys, if any of that sounds interesting, make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. Now, since we're talking about IoT mining, in a previous video I reviewed another IoT miner called the Aware Element. Well, check out this news statement they just published a few days ago. Now, in the statement it reads, unfortunately, despite several weeks of discussions with Aware, we were not able to reach an agreement ensuring a smooth and stable data flow between Aware Element devices and PlanetWatch infrastructure under the current technical setup. Like, whoa, their major partnership and the whole reason for their project just got terminated. You know, their coin really wasn't doing all that well prior to the statement. I can most definitely assume it isn't going to do too well after the statement, as you can clearly tell. Here's where things get interesting. I find this quite ironic that after they sell out all their Aware miners and tons of licenses, that this news comes out. You know, like, sounds like a cash grab to me, but, you know, I could be wrong. It's just something to think about. You know, why would they have no problem selling all these miners, and then a couple months later, you know, once everybody's really starting to get involved in this news comes out? Now, they didn't just stop cold turkey, and PlanetWatch is setting up another way to, you know, send earnings to people that already have devices, and they are sending payment. But I'll tell you right now, my earnings went from the original price of like 16 to 20 tokens down to like 4 or 5 a day. Believe it or not, it doesn't just stop there. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have heard, but Deeper also put out a statement on April 10th. Now, they say it is with regret to inform the Deeper Network community that Deeper Network's Helium Maker Key has been indefinitely suspended by Helium's Manufacturer Oversight Committee, also known as MOC. Crazy that another statement comes out about miners canceling their third-party partnerships. I don't know. But these statements really aren't helping the adoption of IoT mining, but hopefully, this is just a minor setback and IoT mining can obviously push through. Regardless, the statements put out by Deeper will definitely be addressed, and I'll cover that later on in today's video. Now, what you should take away from this and all that this should tell you is that buying these miners should come as a hobby, and any money invested into these projects should be for fun. Also, guys, before I forget, you know what else is fun? Smashing that like button for the YouTube algorithm, so I know you guys want to see more videos like this. So guys, as the crypto market tumbles, with Bitcoin sliding back down to $40,000, I've decided once again to look into the crypto space for another passive income stream. Now, typically after a major bull run like we had, the market tends to kind of veer sideways for quite some time. So pretty much during this waiting period, I tend to research kind of new investment opportunities that have recently been about, you know, mining cryptocurrency in preparation, obviously, for the next bull run that will either come before or just after 2024. Now, helium mining has practically taken IoT mining to the mainstream, and it's the first miner I heard about that wasn't a big clunky like GPU miner that, you know, everybody used to talk about. Now, Helium has also brought many competitors to the space that honestly may have fixed the flaws Helium has had. Now, all these projects typically have their own unique way of bringing new utility to the space, and that's pretty much what we're here to explore within the Deeper Connect. Now, fortunately, Deeper Connect reached out to me, and I was able to receive my miners, as you can see right here, way earlier than the projected delivery time, which is typically around 8 to 20 weeks. At least that's what Deeper Connect says. Now, the Deeper Connect Mini is the bigger brother to the Pico and includes a higher bandwidth and memory. Now, the Pico would be ideal for travel, and the Mini ideally would be left at home. That's how you would separate and deviate between the two. Now, Deeper claims to be an alternative to the typical VPN subscription service, which hopefully you guys are familiar with. It's basically a virtual private network or a service that protects your internet connection and privacy online. And it creates basically an encrypted tunnel for your data and protects your online identity by hiding your IP address, and also allows you to use public hotspots safely. Now, Deeper, on the other hand, calls themselves a DPN, and they don't charge a monthly fee subscription like you've probably heard of all the other VPN services, and it's just a one-time purchase and that's it. Once you buy it, it's yours to keep forever. Now, the Deeper Connect is basically a decentralized private network, and rather than running all your web activity through a company's private internet tunnel, a DPN actually lets you be your own client and your own server without having that middleman. That way, you can still enjoy fully encrypted data transfers and web access from pretty much anywhere in the world, all without depending on an outside server or getting your data logged. Now, the Mini also comes equipped with an enterprise-level cybersecurity service that shields from viruses and Trojans and also protects from malicious tracking and detects intrusions and basically restores safety back to your internet. And they even have a 7-layer enterprise-grade firewall. Also, the Deeper Connect Mini comes standard with ad blocker, and this means it can block encrypted ads such as those on YouTube. That's how we get paid, as well as block annoying ads on pop-up windows, and also allows you to return to the pure internet environment that we all used to love. Now, guys, what you've all been so patiently waiting for, mining the Deeper and Helium tokens. Now, to start, the Deeper network represents the world's first kind of decentralized blockchain network for building a truly private and secure and fair internet. Now, Deeper network is building both a Web 3.0 infrastructure of the future and also an accessible gateway for everyone to join the revolution. Now, in the beginning, Deeper wasn't actually meant for IoT mining, and it was just supposed to be a DPN product. However, they added the mining as a marketing tool and to grow their community in the crypto space, which is honestly pure genius as cryptocurrency and IoT mining and just mining cryptocurrency in general has exploded. So to add this feature into your device, especially when, everyone knows that these miners sell out and are on back order for months, is a great marketing tool. And that's pretty much why the people at Deeper have integrated Helium's network into its own network, making it possible to now mine Helium and Deeper tokens. And that is why they have a second device known as the Deeper Helium Miner and why it's offered as a bundle on their website. Now, the Deeper Network HNT Miner is an IoT device from Deeper Network that is compatible with Helium LongFi. And the key difference between this and maybe a Bobcat miner or a minted miner is that the Deeper Network HNT Miner, and this is the difference, must be connected to the Deeper Connect Mini. So it can't work separately. And with this add-on connected to the Deeper Connect Mini, the combination of the two devices will actually allow for the concurrent mining of both HNT and DPR, which is the Deeper Network's native token. Now, here's where things just got crazy. As of April 10th, I noticed the bundle deal, which I purchased, is no longer an option on the Deeper shop, and then I came across an article which is quite shocking. Now, as we mentioned earlier in today's episode, the statement was put out because of a loophole that was found with the Deeper Helium miners, allowing multiple miners to get rewarded with Helium in the same location. And if you know anything about Helium mining, you can't have multiple miners in the same spot, especially in the same household, because they will compete with each other and you'll actually earn less rewards. But somebody found a loophole that means you have multiple miners set up and it actually acts as one, even though you're earning multiple rewards of Helium on each device. Now, what happened is one of Deeper's distributors sold the HNT miners to mining farms who then spoofed the devices using third-party software in an act of gaming the Helium network. Now, obviously, Helium caught on and punished the Deeper project as well as that distributor by not allowing them to sell miners for a year, as well as boot the distributor. Now, this problem only affects people who have purchased a miner and haven't onboarded yet, which is me, which means I no longer can use that Helium miner that I purchased from Deeper. But the people that currently have the miners up and running should be totally fine as it doesn't affect them. However, Deeper also put out a new statement, which is allowing current people who have bought miners to either get a refund and send back the original device, or they can exchange it and pay an additional $300 to get a new miner that they've partnered with now. Moving on though, it appears the Mini is unaffected from any third-party blocking and is pretty much working fine. Now, the process of mining Deeper works in pretty much two ways. Similar to other miners, you can either stake purchase native tokens, in this case DPR, to speed up your earnings, or you can let your miner earn your tokens, which is an interesting process. Now, the first step towards mining is to obviously share your bandwidth. This is standard with any of the Deeper miners. Now, what this means is Deeper doesn't own any centralized servers, as every Deeper Connect is in essence a server and a client, and all these devices distribute around the world to communicate and share bandwidth with each other, and then every user can set a limit to the amount of bandwidth he or she wants to share with other users. Now, the advantage of turning this on, however, is that you can obviously receive credits for sharing your bandwidth, and this is important. Now, this is how Deeper incentivizes you to participate in the network. Earning credits is important, and I'll talk about earning credits in a minute, but also keep in mind that this form of sharing bandwidth is why there is no middleman mediating the transactions or charging fees. And keep in mind, guys, all Deeper devices let you access the bandwidth anonymously. speed. However, when you turn on your own personal bandwidth, you are then contributing to the decentralized bandwidth sharing network, and then encouraged to do so by earning credits and DPR when you leave it. And this is incentivized through Deeper Network by earning credits as well as earning DPR tokens. And this basically ensures the robustness of the network compared to traditional P2P networking models. And now the network itself is serverless and distributed, and it's important to note that the user data can never be logged, never be leaked, never be hacked, and also never be subpoenaed, which is important because these devices might attract people who want to do bad things on the internet, and the last thing you want is the feds knocking down your door. FBI, open up! Now guys, after you turn on your bandwidth, in order to actually get your Mini onto the Deeper network, you will need to buy 1,000 DPR tokens and pay to get your miner onto the network. That's the cheapest way to begin this, and one of the only ways to begin this. Now, after paying the 1,000 DPR tokens, once on the Deeper chain, your miner begins with a credit score of 0. And from here, your miner needs to grow its organic credit score to 100 before actually earning any DPR or actually being able to mine any DPR. But there's a catch. You can actually bypass this whole thing by just staking 5,000 DPR tokens and skip the minimum 200 days that it would normally take to actually achieve a 100 credit score on the Deeper Mini. Now, 5,000 DPR staked comes out to about $300. And don't forget the 1,000 DPR to get your device on the network, which is around $60, and the Mini, which is about $325 plus tax. So in total, your investment is about, I think, $685, which means at this rate, you won't really be breaking even for about 11-ish years, which is absurd. But keep in mind, this all depends at the level you are at or the amount you've staked in the network. Now consider this, for example, 60,000 DPR, unlike 5,000 staked, is about $3,600 at the current market price, which is about 6 cents at the time of recording this, which earns you about $1,800 a year. Now add the miner and the $1,000 DPR startup cost, which means you break even in about 2.5 years, which is about reasonable with a lot of the other miners on the network, which makes it pretty competitive. The only difference is this costs you over $3,600, close to $4,000 to set up, unlike some of the other miners, which might only be $500 or $600, and then you start earning miners. And I'm referring to like Helium. Now, obviously, none of this includes the fluctuations in the price of DPR token, and if the token obviously goes up in price, you can obviously break even much quicker, but you still kind of have to invest a lot of money in at once to get that break-even point. And this is assumed that tokens with utility will last in the long run. That's usually how it works. And if Deeper manages to move up, from its current spot within the 400 range to the 100th spot, then we would pretty much see a 13x on your return, and you would actually make a lot of money. And that goes without saying. You could just invest in DPR as a whole and have nothing to do with the miners. You just buy and hold on to the coin. But also consider that buying DPR to do this is also a whole other process, which I can make a future video on if necessary. But in summary, you just need to find an exchange that offers it, and then you just purchase from there and either stake it, hold it, or use it for your miner. So in essence, guys, the Deeper network allows you to grow your credit score organically when contributing your bandwidth to the network. And unlike the standard Bitcoin blockchain, proof of credit does not actually rely on solving a puzzle to vote for consensus like Bitcoin. And this is also why Deeper and many other miners have low energy consumption, because it doesn't draw all that power for solving these algorithmic mathematic, equations. Now, Deeper's consensus mechanism is similar to proof of stake, but a validator's voting power depends on both stake tokens and delegated credit scores. So two things, not just one. And on one hand, the top layer is secured by credit scores of Deeper devices. And obviously, the more people involved in Deeper services, the more secure the network will be, because, your info can get passed around on a bigger network. But also then on the other hand, the mining rewards distributed to Deeper devices will obviously incentivize more people to participate in Deeper services, and then this closed loop together will increase and secure the whole network, and that's pretty much the plan that they have. Overall, guys, that's pretty much everything you need to know about the Deeper Connect Mini and the Deeper Connect HNT Miner, and in my opinion, the concept is pretty good. However, you really have to think about why you're purchasing this device. Now, the project has utility, and that should be pretty much the main force behind buying a device like this, not because you can mine tokens. Now, this should come secondary, as that's not really the main point of these devices. For example, buying a Helium Bobcat miner as a consumer is only intended to be used for mining tokens and has no other purpose. It literally has zero purpose besides mining HNT tokens. But the company uses the network created by the people to then sell their network to businesses and not to consumers. You can see how they piggyback off you holding and just having their specific miner because it acts as a way to broadband long-fi. Now, the difference is the Deeper Connect, on the other hand, is mainly used as a VPN for the consumer and is only there to incentivize people to purchase more miners over, other competitors in the space. So what you need to do is not buy this miner if you think you will get rich quick. And keep in mind, if you really want to get the most out of this miner, you have to stake around 60,000 tokens, which is about $3,600. So it's no cheap investment, and this isn't a cheap device. It takes a pretty large investment to get your returns back and even break even over the next 2 years. But hopefully the coin itself, DPR, will increase as well in the next 2 years that you plan on investing into this, or however long, and speed your break-even point up. But that's obviously a risk, and nobody knows if that's going to happen. But with that being said, the Deeper Connect devices and network is an awesome invention, and I do find it incredible to see how our space is pretty much growing and all this utility that comes from it. But guys, if you are interested in picking up one of these devices over here, I went ahead and linked them down in the description below of today's video. Otherwise, make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.